If I sound like I'm whispering, it's because my baby is sleeping and I probably have like a 20-minute window just to get this video in. So I'm gonna try to move as quickly as possible, which this is actually relevant to the video because this is a easy makeup routine for moms. This is just a way for you to look a little bit more alive while you're ripping and running behind your little one. I actually started this video yesterday, or I filmed this video yesterday, but I just didn't like it. I was doing way too much, and I was taking away from the fact that this is supposed to be a very easy makeup routine. I am learning. I don't really have any time to do anything on my own, so let me go ahead and jump right into this video. We are going to start by moisturizing our face. So the most efficient way to do this is to just go ahead and knock your skincare routine out while you're showering. So wash your face, moisturize, do whatever steps you do as far as skincare. The better your skincare is, the easier it will be to pull yourself together as far as putting on a little bit of makeup. So I am moisturizing my face. I just showered, by the way. I showered, washed my hair. I did do a 3 to 4 step skincare routine, and this is the final step before my makeup, which is going to be moisturizing my face. And I am moisturizing my face with the e.l.f. Daily Hydration Moisturizer. While I let that set in, I just go ahead and pull everything out so it's in front of me and I don't have to be reaching and digging and looking for stuff while I'm trying to get ready, because I need to just boom 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 get this done. We are going to go ahead and start with priming the face, and the primer I'm going to use is the Maybelline Master Prime Primer Base, and I'm just going to prime my T-zone area. And really the main objective is to eliminate any pores that I have going on. So I'm going to just layer this on top of my foundation. So the next thing I'm going to jump right into is my foundation. And I am using the Maybelline Dream Urban Cover Full Coverage Protective Makeup with Sunscreen. This has SPF in it. I don't know, I hope it doesn't make me too oily. I do have dry combination skin, but SPF can be kind of greasy, but I did want to try to use this formula and see how I like it, because I wanted to try something that would give me a little bit more of a dewy finish, a more sheer coverage, even though this says full coverage. I watched another YouTuber use this and she said the coverage is not super full, so I don't know, I wanted to give it a try, and I'm just gonna put some of that onto my little makeup palette. I am gonna actually use a fluffy powder brush. This will get it blended out a lot quicker than having to sit there and pat with a sponge. So I'm just gonna take my finger and dip it in that product that I placed. I am going to mostly place it down on my cheek and chin area. I'm not really gonna put a whole lot on my forehead. I'll do one dot on my forehead, but I said I was gonna cut back on the amount of foundation that I was using on my forehead. I was just gonna take what I was putting on my face and just blend it up and see how that goes. So now I'm just gonna take this brush and I'm gonna get this foundation blended out, and I'm just gonna kind of pat that in. I'm gonna do a combination of pats and swipes to get this blended in as quickly as possible. This is something that is supposed to take you about 15 minutes to complete, so I will try to stay as true to that as I can while still bringing you a good quality video. Now that we have that blended in, I'm gonna move on to my next step, and I just said I was gonna have everything out. Oh, I do. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to conceal. Now for concealer, I'm not gonna go with a super like light highlighting or anything like that. I'm just going to conceal my under eye bags, which you could clearly see when I first turned this camera on. For concealer, I'm actually going to use the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation and concealer, and this is in the shade Amber, which is very slightly, just slightly lighter than my skin tone. So again, I don't want to super highlight. I just want a little bit more coverage under the eye. So I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do one pump on, and I mean that seemed like even barely one. It was like half a pump because it was like a little squirt that came out. But I'm going to just put that onto my palette. I'm going to dip my finger in, and I am going to dot once under each eye. Now I'm going to just go ahead and pat that in with my finger, a little bit down the bridge of my nose. And then once I get it spread out, I am going to take a damp beauty sponge and I'm just going to get in there and blend that in. We can kind of blend it over the eyes too, just to kind of blur out that lid space. This will just make us look a little bit more awake, a little bit more alive. Okay, so now that we have a little bit more coverage under the eyes, I want to add a cream highlighter. So I have the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Liquid Glow Illuminator, and I am actually going to use this to highlight my cheek area. Just kind of tap that on to my cheekbone area, and once I tap that in, I am going to use my foundation brush to kind of blend that out. And make sure you go ahead and blend this because I think it dries down pretty fast, so you want to get it blended while it's still able to move around. Pretty. So now that that's done, we're gonna put our cream products away and we're gonna move on to our powders. To set my under eye area, I'm going to use the Sephora Micro Smooth powder, and I got the shade 35 Matte Tan. So I'm going to take a dry beauty sponge, because I noticed that wet sponges, they just damage my powder. I mean, some makeup artists, it works for them. I can't use a wet sponge, so I'm not even gonna try it. This is gonna give me just a tad bit more highlight than that concealer did. I'm gonna take the flat side of this dry sponge, and I'm just gonna tap it into that powder, and then I'm gonna tap the powder on the back of my hand, and I'm just gonna go underneath to set that under eye. See how it gave me just a little bit of highlight and lift? That's all you need. That is all you need. So it served two purposes. It sets under your eye, and it gives you just a tad hint of highlight. Your lid space gets kind of oily, so you want to tap that over your lid space also. I'm gonna also put this on my chin and just a little bit on my forehead area, because these are also places that I would normally highlight. So I'm just gonna set these areas with this same powder. And actually, I'm gonna take a fluffy powder brush and kind of go back into that and just kind of dust it over. Guess what bronzer I'm using? The Anastasia Beverly Hills powder bronzer. Yes, girl, we're using the same bronzer because this is not a sponsored channel, and I'm using all of these products until they are gone, okay? I'm going to take a angled contour brush, and I'm just gonna swirl it around in that bronzer, and I'm just going to lightly bronze and bring that color back to the face. Let's see, what are we doing next? We're gonna move on to blush. We're almost done. So for blush, the Milani Baked Blush in Bellini. So I'm just going to dip into that with my Makeup Shack T95 brush. So it adds more of a glow than it does a blusher, and that's okay. I'm not mad at that. I am not mad at that at all. We want to look nice and bronzed and glowy. I'm not gonna do lashes today because I just don't have time for it, and the mascara I'm using is the L'Oreal Voluminous Mascara in Carbon Black. And just because I want my my eyelashes to be noticeable, and I'm not wearing lashes, I'm gonna give them a quick curl. I'm gonna go ahead and set my face using the e.l.f. Oil Control Primer Mist. Now this is a primer mist, but I just feel like I can use it as a setting mist because this is really kind of all I have right now. Now for lips, I am probably gonna do something simple and glossy. This is the NYX Suede Lip Pencil in the shade Cold Brew. And here I would just keep it real simple and use a gloss. You can use a little bit of color if you want some color on your lips. I'm gonna use a gloss that has a tint to it, and it's the Milani Amore Shine Lip Gloss, and this is in the shade Tenderness. And to be honest, I really could leave my brows like this. They look kind of good. I haven't been plucking them really. I think that they actually look kind of nice. Yeah, if you have a bushy or a full brow, don't even feel like you have to do the brows. Just cut it right here. I am gonna add just a little bit of eyeshadow to my lid because I can see it already getting kind of oily. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my bronzer and I'm gonna take a large fluffy brush, and this is the Morphe M501 brush, and I'm just gonna dip it into that bronzer and kind of go over my eyelid just to kind of eliminate some of that oil and add just a little wash of color. So I am just going to add some mascara. Oh shoot, see, you have mess ups like this, then next thing you know my baby crying and I'm not even able to finish. I'm just gonna take a brush and kind of, yeah, these brows about to stay like they are. All right guys, so yeah, that looks like that's it, and I'm happy with it. I feel like my skin looks clean. Oh, one other thing that you can do just to add a little bit of pop to the eyes and just kind of open them up a little bit is take that whatever you use to highlight. Like I use the Milani blush, so I'm gonna stick with the blush, and you can just kind of dip into that and hit those inner corners up, and that'll just kind of open your eyes up, make you look a little bit more, even more awake, just by adding that little bit of pop to the inner corner. Notice that I did not add any any eyeliner to my bottom waterline. The eyeliner will kind of like close and narrow the eyes a little bit, so I don't want to add any liner. You can put a nude liner in your waterline and that will look so pretty. So a couple of things I noticed while I was taking my pictures for my thumbnail. I did add a touch of blush to my cheeks just to liven things up a bit using the Juvia's Place Saharan blush palette. I know that looks really pink, but I used a very light hand with a very fluffy Makeup Shack brush, and I just gently tapped into that and dusted it off and just kind of tapped it on to my cheeks. And see, adding even just a little bit more, and I did do a little bit around my nose area just to make myself look a little flush. And also I think the lip liner was just too much on the lips, so I just kind of pierced my lips together like that and went over my lip line with my foundation brush. I think it looks so much better without the lip liner. I mean, this really actually looks like my lips. We are ready to tackle our day, mommies. I hope it wasn't too many steps. I really tried to keep it to a minimum. I'm really happy with how this turned out. Again, keep in mind, every step that I take and any step that you want to add, it's totally at your discretion. The key is to just keep it super duper quick because you have a little one to get back to and you got things to do. And yeah, I feel like my skin looks like skin. I don't have a ton of product on my face, so I don't have to worry about, you know, getting makeup all over the place. At least I would hope. Now, I don't know. This is my first time with the Maybelline Dream Urban Cover, so we're gonna see how this goes. I will update y'all in the coming videos on this foundation and let you know how it wears. If you like what you saw here, give me a thumbs up. If you're new and you have not subscribed already, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. I hope you guys are staying healthy and safe, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.